Stevie, but we will get it up and running soon. Just like we had a little trouble with the start there. In the meantime, our lovely voices will guide you. Senior Wiener jamming for Toronto.
And that looks like Shaggy wearing the star here for the Pittsburgh Roller Derby Undead. With Shaggy taking a hit there from Hebrew, but gets up quickly, is out first, and is your lead jammer.
Shaggy breaks out of the pack. Senior Wiener gets all four, calls it off.
Static, if you can hear us from the other side of the rink, the Twitch feed is down. If I knew how to work it, I would fix it.
Feverishly working. Here he's running across the track as fast as he can.
Already it looks like for this second jam of the bout, we've got All Kill jamming for the Undead, while we've got number 12, Stevie, wearing the star.
All Kill for Undead.
Already, and after a little bit of jostling, All Kill breaks out of the pack. First is your lead jammer, but Stevie is not far behind. And All Kill picks up 4 points, calls it off, holds Stevie to 0. And it looks like starting off here, we've got an even head-to-head bout. 4 for Toronto, 4 for the
like
Undead.
Ohm record for the Undead, yeah. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine, Bill. And we got Luke Ness Monster jamming here for Toronto. As Bill said, Ohm Wrecker wearing the star for the Undead, but Luke Ness out of the pack first. They are lead. Luke Ness, oh, nice little hop there over Jackson, picks up 4 points and calls it. Smart move in a close matchup here. Get those points. They call it hit it and quit it. But I don't think the Twitch does it, no. Alrighty here, and just in case you weren't aware, Toronto wearing the blue with white accents. Roller Derby Undead wearing the white jerseys with the bloody red accents.
Senior Wiener jamming for Toronto. And looks like Shaggy for the Undead. Senior Wiener, lead jammer again. That's 2 in a row for him.
Nice push there by Senior Wiener against Pit Bulldozer. Senior Wiener, one more blocker to beat, picks up those 4 points and taps those hips.
The Undead have to be careful trying to run. They're going to break the pack and lose all 4 of their points.
Get that mic closer.
I know a lot of them play USAR, so they might be getting the rules mixed up.
Alrighty, we've got All Kill again with the star. With Stevie jamming for Toronto. All Kill out of the pack easily.
Powered his way right out.
Flying through the pack, got those wings on. While Stevie caught up in a wall of Undead. All Kill gets taken off the track to the infield, has to recycle.
Oh.
But this is All Kill's scoring pass. Stevie still on the initial pass.
Good to see McWilliams up and skating off on his own power there.
Hopefully McWilliams is feeling better and we'll see them skate again. Now, if a jam is called off for injury, that skater will have to sit for at least 3 full jams before they can return to play.
He's in good hands with our medics down there. They'll make sure they evaluate him well before they allow him back on the track. So we have Oma Recker and Luke Nessmonser jamming. Toronto, 2 blockers in the penalty box.
Yeah, Undead with the blocker advantage. Luke Ness has to be held back by 3 blockers while Ohm Recker is able to easily use that outside lane. Is your lead jammer. Luke Ness taking on Harley. Gets past, is not lead, but is now ready for a scoring pass. Omi Smart looks at the board, knows that he is now in the lead point-wise as well, and calls off the jam.
Senior Wiener jamming for Toronto and Shaggy jamming for the Undead. Toronto still person in the penalty box.
Almost back to full strength. The senior Wiener has to face a wall of white. Shaggy blinks and he's past that wall of blue. Out in his lead jammer for the Undead. Nice offensive work there by Hebrew. Clears a path for Shaggy. Shaggy gets those 4 points and calls it. Holds senior Wiener to 0. Oh, and right off the bat, Stevie being sent to the penalty box. So this is a power jam for all kill. I didn't quite see what that call was, but we've got Stevie and D-Ray in the penalty box. Undead has the advantage. This could be a good opportunity to run that scoreboard up.
And
all
another
kill.
Toronto blocker going to the box.
All kill shaking off. Number 88, Demon Star, picks up 4 points. Has the chance here for one more free pass before Stevie returns to the track. All kill takes to the infield, has to recycle behind the back of the pack.
Another jammer penalty for Toronto. But all kill, once he gets out of the pack, he needs to learn to kick it into 3rd and 4th gear instead of coasting, because that's where you're going to get your points, especially when you're down. Oh, they're up now, but.
Yeah, this is a chance with another power jam for all kill to run free, get those wings and soar, but all kill goes ahead and calls off the jam.
So don't do us no good to announce that we having Twitch problems because we're not telling it to anybody. Recker jamming for the Undead on a power jam.
Absolutely. This is a power start, Stevie, in the penalty box still. But, you know, Stevie's got fresh legs because Stevie sat for 2 penalties. Stevie back out on the track, so both of these jammers still in vying for lead jam position. Ohmrecker having to fight a 3-wall. Great recycling being done by the Toronto blockers. Looks like Ohmrecker being called on a forearm heading to the penalty box, so this will be A power jam for Stevie and Toronto.
I really thought Dragon Body pulled a cut on the jammer, but apparently I didn't see it as well as the referees did.
Nice work by Jackson. One-man wrecking crew here on Stevie, forcing Stevie into that tripod. Jackson back on Stevie, but Stevie able to dance around. Ooh, a little bit of a unintentional trip by Harley. Takes Stevie to the ground.
Tough break for Stevie, tripping over the Undead skates. Gets recycled back to the back after finally getting out.
And Stevie, just stuck in that pack, takes heed from the bench and calls off the jam. Alrighty, again, we're seeing a familiar matchup here. Shaggy versus Luke Ness. Shaggy has that inside lane, gets out quickly and is your lead jammer, but Luke Ness not far behind. Shaggy with a little juke and a jive, calls off the jam, picks up those 4 points, while Luke Ness is unable to score.
Static Shock over here doing wizardry with the Twitch thing. I'm telling you. Look at
Getting
that.
us legal again and getting us back on the interwebs. Thank you, Static Shock.
Excellent, excellent job. Now we just got to let everybody know, huh? Where to find us. We're back online here. Looks like the Undead holding a 31-16 lead. Hurricane Heather. This is the first time I've seen her jam this weekend.
Yeah, Hurricane Heather has, in recent years, basically taken up a blocker position, not really taking the star too much. More or less, being a pivot and being a jammer in a pinch. But it's always good to see her going back to her derby roots and wearing the star.
Oh, yes. I remember her jamming lots and lots of times from our RollerCon days.
I will tell you that when Steel City Roller Derby started way back in the ancient days, the initial rule was skaters had to be 21 and up, but Hurricane Heather was not of age, so she was the actual exception to the rule. We wanted her so badly to be able to skate.
Yeah, well, she is a outstanding skater.
Absolutely. I believe she was born with skates on.
I think so.
Her and her sister, the Groller sisters.
Well, I hope everybody can join us online again.
Alrighty, here we are.
And Hurricane Heather jamming. Hurricane Heather gets out.
Beautiful work by
there
Hurricane
she kicks
Heather.
it into. And that's how you get out of the pack, right there.
Hurricane Heather continuing the trend here for the Undead, getting lead jam status. Taking advantage of this very spread out pack. Gets cut up by one of her own teammates, though, and calls off the jam.
I believe is that Stevie back out jamming for Toronto and
Yep.
Oma Wrecker for the Undead.
Omrecker comfortable on that outside lane. Is able to shake off Demon Star and picks up lead jammer.
Both the Undead and Toronto with a blocker in the penalty box.
Stevie still on their initial pass. Does finally break free of the Undead wall. Puts that star back on. While Ohmwrecker sails past number 81, the Dictator, and calls off the jam. The Undead definitely taking advantage of a couple of those power jams, were able to put up a pretty decent scoring run there, and is got a nice lead, but it's still within striking distance. We still got 16-ish minutes left in this first half.
No.
Oh, but Luke Ness is able to shake off that hit by Honcho. Gets out of the pack, but it looks like it was a no pass, no penalty, so is not lead. Shaggy still can earn that lead jammer status. But he's got to get past Williams. Little confusion there on the whistle. Shaggy thought it was a penalty on him, but it was not. It was on Williams. Shaggy is your lead jammer for the roller derby Undead. A little big hit there, Dragon Body on Luke Ness. Looks like Luke Ness being sent to the penalty box.
Black Bach on Shaggy. He's got to go to the box. But Toronto, again, with the steady stream of players to the penalty box.
Well, this is both jammers in the penalty box.
Yes.
So Luke Ness is going to be freed. Don't forget that's behind. The feed is a little bit behind. There's like a 5-second delay. Both jammers only have to sitting for just a few moments in the penalty box. Back out on the track.
This jam will go the full 2 minutes for both jammers going to the penalty box.
Absolutely. Shaggy was lead, but unfortunately lost that when he was sent to the penalty box. Oh, wow. Oh, Toronto blockers on Shaggy, forcing Shaggy out of bounds. Shaggy returns to the track in turn 1, while Luke Ness now is able to get a lap in and start scoring points here. But the 2-minute jam has expired. Got 4 points there in the sky for Luke Ness. I did not see what that was for Shaggy on that, but the Undead at 49, Toronto at 20. And again, those as we're on the Twitch feed now, the Pittsburgh Roller Derby Undead wearing the white with red accents, and Toronto Roller Derby wearing blue with the white accents. Jamming again, Senior Wiener up against All Kill. All Kill lead jammer, while Soul Reaper in that pack wrecking Senior Wiener. All Kill almost getting Senior Wiener out of bounds, but he shakes it off.
Big hit from All Kill on Pip.
Hurricane Heather being sent to the penalty box.
Stevie and Ohmwrecker jamming.
Oh, nice hit there by Dragon Body. Taps Stevie to the infield. Stevie out of bounds, has to recycle back. But Ohmwrecker gets out of the pack first and is sent to the penalty box. So this will be a power jam. Nice work there by Harley.
Clearly out of play.
Glad to see Harley feeling better and recovered from those big hits yesterday back out on the track. We both have Harley and Smalls today.
That's very good, very good.
Stevie dancing on that outside line. Trying to get
Nice
some
knockout
help there.
Oh, there we got the cut. Dragon body. Good job. Toronto with every player but one in the penalty box.
So this is a power jam for Shaggy. Ohmwrecker. It's time for Ohmwrecker to, again, run up the score, put on the jets, release the nitro, get speedy here, and pick up as many points as possible while Stevie is in the penalty box.
Nice offensive blocking there for the Undead. As the flood of Toronto blockers and jammers come out of the penalty box. Undead with a commanding 61-24 lead with 11 minutes left in the first period. Toronto must get this penalty problems taken care of or they're going to continue to fall behind. They got another 2 blockers in the box. You can't stop jammers with only 2 blockers out there.
And you also can't score points when the jammer is in the box.
Absolutely.
So they need both their jammers and blockers on the track. Shaggy out of the pack quickly is your lead. And there we go. Luke Ness Monster unfortunately getting called on another penalty. This is another power jam for the Undead. These penalties are coming so quickly that I'm not actually seeing what the call is. Mostly seems like cut tracks, but
Undead made a pretty critical mistake there. They had 2 opportunities to grab that player out of the penalty box and pull him to the back, which would have left the other blockers out of play out front. And they just let them skate right by. That's a experience thing that they'll learn as they continue to play this sport.
Oh, nice there. Shaggy dips underneath McWilliams. Picks up 4 more points for the Undead as Luke Ness is released from the penalty box. Luke Ness trying to chase as fast as they possibly can to try to get at least an additional point there through the last whistle, but Shaggy calls it off, gets those 4 points, holds Luke Ness to 0.
And we have another Toronto blocker in the penalty box. We need the whiteboard to track. We need to track penalties.
Oh, the whiteboard. We need another little. We need the more modern technology and have a laptop right here for us at the announcer table because my eyes can't see all the way to a whiteboard.
Well, we need something to track penalties.
Senior Wiener, 1 more blocker to beat. Oh, Soul Reaper able to take Senior Wiener off the track, drawing him all the way back. Keeps going, keeps rolling, keeps rolling. Senior Wiener said, no.
Oh, nice observation by Senior Wiener that person that was pulling him back went out of play, so he was able to run back in.
Absolutely. 1 point for Senior Wiener, no points for the Undead. That's somebody who is very observant and knows the rules of roller derby very, very well.
Yep. Ohmwrecker jamming for the Undead and Stevie for Toronto. Hey, look, we have an empty penalty box. Woohoo!
I know that it's not 9:30 yet, but drink, do a shot, because there's nobody in the penalty box. Shot of OJ, shot of coffee, nice little espresso. The entire Toronto blocking force all over Ohmwrecker. Ohmwrecker not able quite yet to find that way past. Does and still has to get past D-Ray. Shakes D-Ray off. Is out of the pack first, but no pass, no penalty, so will not be lead jammer. Stevie still has the opportunity to earn lead. Has been called lead and is calling it off. Awesome strategy. You know, you haven't earned any points, but you want to stop the other team for earning points.
Uh-oh, we have an official review. Or just questions? Just questions. We have Shaggy jamming for the Undead versus Luke Ness Monster.
Undead almost fielding too many players because there are 2 Undead blockers in the penalty box. Oh, nice attempt there from Pit Bulldozer trying to stop up Luke Ness, but Luke Ness able to break free. Is your lead jammer for Toronto. Beautiful offensive play there by McWilliams. Cleared out that inside lane perfectly. Luke Ness gets through, picks up those 4 points, calls it off.
Got all 4 points and called it off before the 2 Undead blockers got out of the penalty box. Three blockers for the Undead in the penalty box.
Yeah, but it's left with Soul Reaper. Soul Reaper not able to stop Senior Wiener. Senior Wiener out first. Lead jammer. Now there's almost a mass exodus from the penalty box. Undead back out on the track. But Senior Wiener calls it off just as All Kill approaches the back of the pack. Gets those points, calls it off. Nice sportsmanship there by Senior Wiener. Kind of gave the All Kill some respect, a little high five.
Okay, good.
Thank you to those that have tuned into the Twitch feed now that we are back live. Sure y'all all haven't had your caffeine yet.
Nice little move by Smalls to get out.
Oh, Dragon Body. Just the perfect little tap on Stevie. Drives Stevie to the infield.
Beautiful move to the outside by Smalls. It's going to be hard to hit a small jammer like that legally. And she's fast.
Oh! Landed inbounds, but slid out of bounds. Had to reset. Again, Smalls is a recent addition to the Undead. Came from the Pittsburgh Derby Brats. Ooh, McWilliams, big hit on Smalls.
That's going to be a forearm penalty. Nice jam by Smalls.
Smalls calls it off, yep.
Shaggy jamming for the Undead. And Luke Ness Monster for Toronto. Each team down a blocker.
Whistle starts, Luke Ness.
Shaggy sneaks in on the outside.
Absolutely. Took advantage of all the blockers focusing on Luke Ness and just slid right past. Luke Ness is a very speedy jammer. Can catch up to the pack pretty quickly, but Shaggy's got eyes on Luke Ness and calls it off.
Nice run up by Toronto to only limited them to 2 points. Toronto back with 2 players in the penalty box. Hopefully at halftime they make some adjustments to fix these penalty issues because it's going to be hard to make a comeback.
The Undead wall rolling up a little bit, giving Soul Reaper some room. Soul Reaper spin moves, a little side surf, and is out of the pack first. Is your lead jammer. using that side surf to get some speed, but Senior Wiener playing jammer on jammer defense. The brothers working together, All Kill giving his brother an assist. Soul picks up 4 points. Nice move to the inside lane again. Beautiful offense there. Jamit cleans out the inside for Soul, so picks up those 4 points and calls it off. And I'm sure the Undead are happy to see that they have reached the century mark. 104 points on the boards here with a little less than 2 minutes in the first half. Toronto sitting at 33.
Official review called by, or timeout possibly, by Toronto. But they also have another blocker in the penalty box. They have to be getting several players in penalty problems.
Absolutely.
Don't forget to visit our vendors, Mighty Mo Double XL, selling event merch and other oddities. He's down there now setting all up. We have the arch rival roller derby team selling their merch down there in the far corner.
Be
There
sure
she
to
is.
visit her. She doesn't want to take all that home.
Bolt action. We'll gladly sell you anything you like. And in the other far corner, we have Tipsy Rose Design selling a plethora of clothes with on-site embroidery. Unfortunately, Lux has not made her way back to do massages yet, but she will be here later on. What was the official review on this? Nice tripod by Toronto.
And we've got it's almost a
And
cuddle
Old
puddle
Wrecker.
there. But Omrecker able to break free of the cuddle puddle. Gets out of the pack first, is your lead jammer.
Well, I didn't see that other part. I saw that part. I didn't see the
Oh,
other part.
Omrecker defying gravity. Almost taken out of bounds, but is able to maintain his balance.
Oh, nice hit by McWilliams, but Wrecker manages to stay in bounds.
Biff taking Omrecker off the track and recycling him back here into turn 2. While Stevie being trapped by the wall of Jackson, Harley, and Dragon Body. Oh, Dragon Body and Jackson are a vicious duo that I would never want to have to go up against. These two have been playing together for so long and just have the best teamwork and communication.
Both jammers looked exhausted going against those tripods. Each team with a player in the penalty box. Timeout Toronto.
Smart move there by Toronto by taking that timeout. That will get us another jam here while we really only have 15 seconds in the period.
We have Lloyd here from Hit Squad TV doing everybody justice, making videos for them. If you can ever check out his things on Facebook, they're absolutely amazing. He does a great job for the Derby community, and everybody make sure they give up and give him a nice pat on the back every time you see him.
And hey, if you are playing, give him your money. He will make you an amazingly cool highlight reel. I asked him yesterday, I said, hey, can we get announcer highlight reels? And he went, I could work on that. Already whistle here starts the jam. Luke Ness up against Shaggy. Luke Ness trying to find a way to squeeze past the height of Honcho. Gets underneath Honcho, past Pippledozer, and Luke Ness is your lead jammer. Shaggy still stuck here in the pack. While Luke Ness taking advantage, bounces off of Senior Wiener and picks up 4 more points, while Senior Wiener being sent to the penalty box. Pack speeding up and stretching out quite a bit. Luke Ness taking advantage of that stretched out pack, gets that last point, taps those hips and calls it off.
Toronto did a good job of picking players off, knocking them out of bounds, allowing their jammer to fly right on by.
And that puts us at intermission. The Undead with a pretty healthy lead, 108 to 40. Yeah, are we getting a full? No, we're getting the short intermissions. We got a lot of derby to do today.
10 minutes.
Yeah, so after this bout, we're just going to keep on rolling. At 11 o'clock, we've got the Lane County Concussion versus the Gatekeepers. At 1 o'clock, Magic City versus Disorder. And then by lunch, we will know the placements for the afternoon games.
I will not be here this evening. I will be seeing Judas Priest and Queensryche in concert.
So you're going to get Bill on the mic back to back to back this morning.
Enjoy or send the hate mail. I'm going to get up and wander around again just because I can. How you feeling today, Magnum? Feel good? All right. Ready for action, huh? Well, your sweeper job is doing really well. You're doing a fine. Ninja always being so helpful. He's going to give us an update on the penalties.
I think Bambi's helping us out there too.
Bambi's checking on it as well.
Okay, we are ready to get back to the action here. Starting this second half, the Undead in the lead at 108. Toronto with 40. Looks like we may have a little bit of a jammer shakeup. We've got D-Ray wearing the star for Toronto with Shaggy, familiar face, familiar jammer for the Undead. Both teams starting off strong. Senior Wiener being released for the penalty box. Oh, and D-Ray broke free of the pack first, but being called on a cut track, sent to the penalty box. Oh, Shaggy trying his hardest to stay inbounds, but Senior Wiener able to take him off the track and recycle him back to turn 1. Basically, it has to start all over again. Lots of pushing and jostling and getting help there from Hebrew. Gets out of the pack finally and is your lead jammer for the roller derby, Undead.
Toronto with another person blocker going to the penalty box.
D-Ray freed from the penalty box. Now does have to create that initial pass while Shaggy out here scoring points. Picks up 4, calls off the jam. So I believe that was 2 scoring passes there for Shaggy.
Toronto with another blocker in the penalty box. They have one player with 5 penalties and about 15 more penalties than the Undead. So they have to get this under control if they're going to make a comeback in this game. You just cannot keep being shorthanded.
Already in that
today's
whistle.
roller derby.
Oh, Luke Ness. I looked away for a second, and Luke Ness gets lead jammer for Toronto. Soul Reaper hot on their heels. Luke Ness has to break free, but sees Soul Reaper coming up quickly, gets those 2 points, calls it off, holds Soul Reaper to 0.
Soul Reaper with his patented side shuffle all around the track. Is that Harley out there jamming for the Undead? That's the first time I've seen her.
I believe that is Harley jamming for
Glad
the
to see
Undead.
her, yeah.
Harley
Looks like
up against Stevie.
Stevie for Toronto.
Well, McWilliams taking a tap there on Harley, takes Harley to the infield. Okay, and Stevie forces a penalty on Dragon Body, gets lead jammer. Dragon heads to the penalty box while Harley's still trying to complete her initial pass. Stevie picks up those 4 points. And it does look like we've had an official star pass. Harley knew that she was in trouble, wasn't going to break free of these Toronto blockers. Passes the star off to Omrecker. And Stevie calls off the jam.
Undead with a couple blockers in the penalty box and another Toronto blocker in the penalty box. So both teams will be starting down on this one. We have Shaggy and Senior Wiener.
Thanks, everybody out there in Twitchland. We see you're watching. You're so quiet in the chat. Get your caffeine. We know it's early. If we have to talk, so do you. Senior Wiener
Out
one
of play block by Pitbull Dozer. Shaggy gets out right behind Senior Wiener. We've got nice apex
beautiful
jump.
apex jump. Wiener leaps through the air. Nice little juke there to the outside. Senior Wiener picks up 4 more points.
Oh, nice one-on-one blocking.
I think that was Biff taking on Shaggy. Senior Wiener steps over the Undead blockers, picks up 4 more points. Great defensive work by Toronto. Really shutting down Shaggy here in this jam.
Yeah, several nice knockouts and drawbacks. Senior Wiener powers his way through the outside.
Oh!
Nice hit by Honcho.
Honcho hits and now taunts. Like, come on. Come to me, Wiener.
He felt that hit. Yeah, he's calling it off. we got a chat person.
Yay!
We're glad you woke up with us.
Yeah, we're glad we were able to get the Twitch running for you as well.
It's quite a scramble. We have Luke Ness Monster jamming for Toronto. And all kill for the Undead, who gets lead jammer.
Ooh, Luke Ness, one-on-one with Smalls. Nice little shoulder check into Smalls, and Luke Ness is able to get out of the pack. And as Williams knocks all kill to the infield, forces all kill, calls it off. Toronto making a nice little comeback here. 65, Undead at 123.
Undead starting with a blocker down on this one. Ohm Wrecker jamming for the Undead. And it looks like Stevie for Toronto.
Nice work by Jackson and Harley working together. One-on-one, Stevie and Dragon Body. Dragon Body in full control. Two
Dragon
tall
Body
players. Nice work there by Dragon Body. Still great side-to-side momentum, but keeping it slow.
Oh,
Dragon Body still keeping this in play and completely owning Stevie, while Ohmwrecker slides right on by and gets lead jammer. This is why I love Dragon Body.
yeah, he held her all up front by himself, allowing Ohm Wrecker to get lead jam and rack up points. Now we have a star pass.
That was a nice takeout there. Harley took out Biff, but also got a penalty and is heading to the penalty box. It looks like Jackson being called on a multiplayer block, heading to the penalty box to sit with Harley. Nope, and I'm hearing another penalty. Dragon Body, I believe, was called on a forearm.
Don't.
So now it's the Undead that are the ever-revolving penalty box.
Yes, Undead is.
Apparently, the penalty juju lives on that side of the track from that bench.
It must be. It must be. That
You switch benches at half, and you get all the penalty drama that comes from that side. Does anybody here have sage that we can
we need it.
wave
Yeah,
over that side of the bench
that
and get rid of the
bench is
bad
haunted.
juju?
Luke Ness with lead jammer. And it looks like Shaggy jamming. Is that Shaggy? Yes,
That
it
is Shaggy. Ooh. I believe D-Ray being called on a multiplayer block, heading to the penalty box. While Luke Ness in control of this jam is your lead jammer, picks up, I believe that's 3 points. Maybe 4, I can't tell. Seemed to be a ring finger down. Oh, nice hop there. Little bunny hop out of bounds, and Luke Ness calls off the jam. Toronto definitely taking advantage now of the Undead's penalty trouble. Have eked their way up to 74 points to the Undead's 132.
Yeah, they managed to make a nice comeback with all the penalties the Undead were getting there. We have all kill jamming for the Undead, and it looks like Senior Wiener for Toronto, who are a blocker down.
Yeah, and we're just under 20 minutes, so Toronto still is within striking distance of making a comeback here. Well, Senior Wiener gets those hips past Soul Reaper and is out of the pack. Is your lead jammer. Ooh, Signorina just runs right into Soul Reaper. Now we've got a Soul Reaper all kill pile up.
All Kill managed to get through the pack while they held Senior Wiener back.
Both jammers pick up 4 points each on that jam.
Hey, look, we have an empty penalty box. It's a miracle.
And you know you've just cursed them. That's the announcer's curse. As soon as you say that,
I know, well,
it's going to get filled up and filled up quick.
Well, it won't be unusual.
And we've got here in the chat a go Luke go. Stevie back.
Looks like Stevie jamming for Toronto and Ohm Wrecker for the Undead. Ohm Wrecker getting lead.
Oh, but nice last minute hit there by Mick William.
Out of play,
Yep.
Mick William. Woo.
Kata kills him, telling
Yes,
Mick William
she was
very
not a
emphatically.
happy camper on that end.
I love this ref crew. This has been an excellent reffing crew this tournament. Nice job to all the NSOs as well. Oh, Ohmrecker sees that outside lane. Little 1 foot glide pass, picks up 4 points.
4-point pass on that. Ohm Wrecker just slides right through the inside. I don't think anybody saw him.
They're all still focused here on Stevie. Tried to give Stevie a little bit of offense and kind of let the defense up on Ohmrecker. McWilliam back out on the track. Puts a tap on Omi, but Omi able to easily shake it off. Picks up 4 more points.
Well, the other problem is Stevie is really taking a beating, and she cannot pass the star because Toronto failed to have the pivot panty on anybody. There is no pivot out there
Nope,
for
there
Toronto.
is no pivot.
And Toronto is just
Back in penalty trouble here.
bleeding to the penalty box again.
And that's unfortunate because, you know, when only you have 1 or 2 blockers on the track, you have to play defense and you can't give the offensive help that your jammer needs. So Stevie's getting no assistance from her teammates.
On top of being no one to pass it to.
Ohmrecker had a nice run there. Bumps up the Undead to 156. Toronto's still sitting at 77.
Yeah, Toronto was making a strong pullback in this game, and then the last couple jams have really affected them with going back to the penalty boxes. And a critical mistake of not putting a pivot out there. Smalls jamming for the Undead. She did a fine job last time. Little jammer on jammer action with Luke Ness Monster.
Oh, nice attempt there. But Small's taken out by the Dictator. A little booty pop. Luke Ness being taken off the track by Pipple Dozer, but Pipple Dozer also goes out of bounds. So
Power jam. Smalls getting called off for the Undead.
oh, big hit by Shaggy on Luke Ness. Luke Ness doesn't seem really affected. Just gets back up. Does have to recycle back into turn 1. Luke Ness does have all their blockers back out on the track.
Number 76, Williams, going back to the penalty box. He has to be approaching close to fouling out.
Luke Ness passing the star to Biff.
So that means this is going to go the full 2 minutes.
Biff Malibu getting around. Again, a no pass, no penalty.
Smalls out of the box and turning on the Jets. Look at her go. She flies around the track.
But loses footing,
Nice
hits
knockout.
the track.
Nice knockout there.
Oh, nice there.
Nice spin on the inside.
Absolutely a nice little juke off of Dictator.
They both have 12 seconds. Kick it into gear, Smalls. Try to get a couple extra points.
Right now, 4-4.
Yep, they're going to wait it out. Both the Undead and Toronto with players in the penalty box. Looks like Soul Reaper and Senior Wiener.
Oh, I love the team cuddle. Little penguin huddle. Get some strategy. Tell each other how much you love each other, how great you're doing. Appreciate your team.
Well, they're down 160 to 89 with 13 minutes left. They have a chance here, but they're really going to have to stay out of the penalty box and not make any more critical mistakes like not putting on the pivot panty. Is this an official timeout or what? So it was a nice brisk 31 degrees here in St. Louis this morning.
At least there was not more snow.
No snow, though, this morning,
No
which
snow.
is good. And the wind isn't as heavy as it was. So
And you know, we have some heroes here in this building who were able to unplug that fan and make me a very, very happy announcer. I do not have a wind tunnel blowing directly on my neck anymore, so I very much am in love with MC Ninja and Blaine for taking a hockey stick and reaching up there and yanking that plug out. I still made sure to buy a wonderful Arch Rival hoodie. Go purchase one as well. So my neck is still protected. I have multiple layers on. There's some really cute merches. If you are a fan of enamel pins, there are enamel pins at the Arch Rival booth. Also over at Tipsy Rose Designs. I got a super sweet Fat Cat Appreciation Club pin. If you need patches, she can sew them right there on your jacket at this given moment. And you know, hey, we've got Mighty Mo, Double XL. They're selling the event merchandise. Get your International House of Derby gear. We've got Phoenix over there at the Undead Roller Derby merch table. I think we might have Disorder setting up as well. So spread the love around. Spread your cash around. Help Derby thrive.
my buddy Double XL was telling me he had a few more hats back in. I guess he sold out yesterday, which is great, but he brought some more back in. So go pick them up. And Soul Reaver with...
That was easy. There was just no blockers to stop Soul Reaper there. Soul Reaper getting some speed with that side surf. But Senior Wiener coming up quick. Soul Reaper calls that, gets 1 point, and holds Senior Wiener to 0 points.
Stevie out jamming for Toronto against Wrecker for the Undead. Undead getting ready to get all 4 blockers back on the track.
Stevie having to fight this tall line of blockers. Wrecker has a clear opening on that inside lane, takes full advantage, is your lead jammer. Stevie trying to get some help.
Stevie and her arch nemesis, Dragon Body. He's really done quite a number on her this game.
Absolutely. And this looks like this is the Undead's tall line. Every tall blocker is out on the track. Dragon, Honcho, Jackson, Tot. So they're matching inch for inch to Stevie. But Jackson, unfortunately, going to the penalty box.
Wrecker doing a good job of calmly collecting points and just weaving his way through the pack while his blockers hold back the other jammer. Not getting any offense.
Honcho taking Stevie into the infield, dragging Stevie back. Oh, Omrecker almost past Biff. Gets back on the track. Biff gives another little tap, and Omi calls off the jam.
He finally got a little offense from Tots up there, and he was able to get out and collect the last few points. Looks like Luke next Monster versus Shaggy for this jam.
Whistle starts the jam. Oh, it looks like 555 Lobo being called off. I think it was for a forearm. I personally thought it looked like a hug. Looked like Lobo hugged Shaggy. So Shaggy took full advantage of that hug, got out of the pack, got lead, calls off the jam just as Luke Ness starts to pick up points as well.
Luke Ness managed to pick up a couple points as well.
Yeah. Luke got low, slid right past, picked up those couple points before Shaggy realized and called it off.
Uh-oh. We're having an official review by Toronto. There it is.
Very serious. Oh. I see there, Fairy Lee. Yep, heck yeah, steal those points. Fairy Lee shouting out for TMRD and Luke Ness. Steal those points.
Toronto starting this next jam with a player down in the penalty box. Smalls versus Senior Wiener. Smalls has done a really good job of getting out of that pack, and she turns on the jets when she gets out of the pack. Something she should teach a couple of her teammates.
Well, Smalls is probably also at least 15 years younger than most of her teammates.
It's all right.
10, 15, Smalls has that youthful energy on their side.
Well, one thing what a lot of people don't understand is your blockers are doing a really good job of holding back the other jammer, and the quicker you can get around that track,
absolutely,
and get back in there, the less work they have to do.
Absolutely. You want your blockers to control the pack for you. You want them to keep it slow. So if you've got some speed on your side, you're going to get back to the pack quicker. But also have that signal to your blockers as soon as you're approaching the pack to start speeding it up to make it harder for the opposing jammer to get to that pack.
Really
Back in the old days of the pivot, that was my job, was to control that speed.
Oh, we have.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Ninja. So Toronto was requesting a back block on the Undead jammer. The referees concluded both with a visual that it was not a back block, it was a hit to the side. So there will be no call, and Toronto will not retain their official review. Again, big props to these refs. They're doing a fantastic job this tournament.
So we're back again with Senior Wiener versus Smalls. Nice
Ooh.
knockout by Soul Reaver on Senior Wiener.
Also, that was an amazing hit there by 1701 Pip on Smalls.
And Smalls managed to make her way out of the track.
Smalls is your lead jammer for the roller derby Undead. Senior Winning have to take on Hurricane Heather and Soul Reaper.
Senior Wiener with a track cut. Smalls on a power jam. She makes her way out of the pack, scoring points and zipping across to the other side. Undead throwing some offense, allowing her to
Soul
weave her
Reaper.
way right through the pack.
That was a beautiful teamwork there by Soul Reaper. Soul Reaper just started inching up to the pack as Smalls was flying around the track, and just Smalls trailed Soul right through, got by easily, and picked up those points. But now Smalls very wisely sees Senior Wiener being released from the penalty box, calls it off.
Is that Honcho jamming for Undead?
Woohoo! I love when Honcho jams. Honcho doesn't necessarily love when Honcho jams. I expect at least one apex jump, Honcho.
And we got Stevie for Toronto. Nice knockout by McWilliams.
Yeah.
Stevie with lead jam. Honcho out and right on her turn.
Oh, it looks like there's a little chaos in the pack. Pack is really spread out here. Stevie hoping to take advantage of that.
Very
But
chaotic.
Stevie again, one-on-one with Dragon. And Dragon forces Stevie to call it off. Both blockers pick up points. I think we've got a 4-4.
Both teams losing a player to the penalty box. Timeout, Undead. We have a score of 191-94 with 7 minutes, 27 seconds left in this game.
Hey, and don't forget, this is just the first bout of this second day of the International House of Derby tournament. Coming up at 11 o'clock, we've got Lane County Concussion versus the Gatekeepers. At 1 p.m. will be Magic City versus Disorder. And then we'll take a break for lunch. And we'll see how the bracket shakes out and who will be playing the rest of the day. And also who will be announcing for the rest of the afternoon. Won't be Bill, because Bill's leaving us to go rock out.
Yep, going to see a concert. I have been going to lots of concerts. I feel like a roadie. I've been to so many concerts. Started jam number 15. I can't see who it looks like Ohm Wrecker
And Luke Ness.
Luke Nessmonster for Toronto. And he manages to power his way through the pack for lead jam. There's Ohm Wrecker right on his foot.
Luke is they them. Luke Ness's pronouns are they them. That's okay. That's okay. That's why I wanted to tell you. It's easier to sometimes just prefer to say the name. I think Luke is the only one on their team that's that's okay.
Senior Wiener out jamming for Toronto. It looks like Shaggy for the Undead. Undead with 2 blockers in the box. Toronto with only 1.
Oh, way to tap dance on that line there. Stay inbounds. Senior Wiener is your lead jammer for Toronto. Shaggy able to finally break free of the pack, but Senior Wiener is on his scoring pass. looks to his jam ref, sees 4 points in the air, and calls it off before Shaggy can get back to the pack.
All kill jamming for the Undead. Stevie for Toronto, and nobody in the penalty box.
Nice. And Toronto has reached the century mark. 102 for Toronto, while Undead sitting at 191. Nice blocking here. Defense is tough. Good job by Toronto taking all kill to the infield. But it looks like
Toronto loses a blocker.
yep, it's heading to the penalty
All
box.
kill manages to get lead jam.
All kill back around on a scoring pass, but being drawn back. Nice bridge there by Senior Wiener, helping McWilliam draw all kill back as far as possible. The Hurricane Heather opens that inside lane for all kill.
We had a star pass to D-Ray. All kill keeping the jam going. Oh, nice little move by D-Ray to avoid the big hit by Soul Reaper. Wrecker jamming for the Undead, and Luke Desmonster for Toronto. They remembered the pivot that time. They almost forgot it again.
Little Wrecker had just enough room there on that outside track. Able to pass Dictator, picks up lead jammer. Luke Ness not far behind. Luke Ness definitely speedy, comes up fast, but Wrecker is aware and calls it off.
Luke Ness, your string's untied. Your skate's untied. Both of them.
Something is happening.
Everything was coming apart. Skates, wrist guards, he was losing everything.
Toronto taking a team timeout. And again, in dramatic fashion, those hands were ready and then very dramatically in the tee.
Looks like Shaggy's out there ready to jam for the Undead, and Senior Wiener's coming back out for Toronto. Nobody in the penalty box.
And we have 3 minutes, 16
Undead
seconds. No, that was Toronto that took the timeout.
They
High
probably
fives
needed
all
a
around.
breather. We have
They took a team timeout for some team high fives.
200 to 106 is the score.
This might be the closest scoring bout so far of this tournament. Unfortunately, there have been some pretty large point gaps in most of the gameplay this weekend.
I think we will see those scores tighten up. The other games for today.
Senior Wiener is your lead jammer.
Senior Wiener, lead jam.
Oh, nice follow-up hit there by Honcho, but Wiener able to bounce off. Picks up those 4 points. But Shaggy answers right back for more.
Ooh,
Oh, Honcho shuts down that apex jump and forces Senior Wiener to call it off.
Soul Reaper jamming for the Undead, and Stevie jamming for Toronto. Hurricane Heather is your pivot. Looks like Biff are for Toronto.
Oh, and that was a foot race. Yes. Stevie and Soul Reaper out of the pack at the same time, but so Stevie got it first and calls off the jam immediately. Smart move, keeping Soul Reaper from scoring any points. Just keep it a dead heat.
Biff Malibu goes to the penalty box with the pivot panty for Toronto. Looks like we have Harley, I believe, is jamming for the Undead.
Yes, that would be Harley.
And Luke Ness for Toronto. Oh, big hit on Harley.
Oh, Luke Ness almost able to squeeze in between Ohmwrecker and Jackson. Cut track, unfortunately, on Luke Ness.
Jackson with a nice cut call on that, pulled him back.
Yeah, Luke Ness wasn't sure exactly who took them out of bounds. Unfortunately, it was Jackson, and Jackson did roll to the back of the pack.
Omi slides right through the pack. Looks like they're going to just run this clock out.
And that was an amazing bench chant of the entire Undead going, Omi, Omi, Omi. Luke Ness being released from the penalty box, heads back out on the track. Luke Ness trying to fight. Gets past Harley, but has to take on Dragon Body. Dragon Body at least 3 feet taller than Luke.
2 seconds left in this jam.
Well, in the period, but we still have the jam clock running.
Oh, that's true.
We still have 30 seconds on the jam clock.
They're going to run the jam all the way out. Luke Ness breaks his way out of the pack.
And that's just Luke Ness's initial pass. Ohmwrecker being hit off the track and is just going to take the time and wait out the clock. And that is the whistle. Our unofficial score, 2:16.